Welcome back. We're doing a bit of investigating once again. We had a little look around here in the legal consultancy. We got into a little bit of a debate about a shovel and a spade. You know how it is. But it's time for us to head out and see what else we can find around. See if we can see Shlomes downstairs. We shall see. 22nd of February. Shlomes Suite.
Oh, Runo and Susie, hooray, you're back.
Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see.
I am. And you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie.
Oh, you flatter me.
Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I just made a pot of tea. I'll get some cups.
Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell? Aha! The Wanderers return at last. Where on earth have the pair of you been? We've been in court? Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case. That was today, was it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Shlomes. I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would have liked to see it. I bet you were there somehow. You're probably the one that got hit by the bottle. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been so long. Is Lord Van Zykes an acquaintance, Mr. Shlomes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Shlomes, what is that odor? Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed! That's the scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Oh dear. Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? Oh, we have to ask. Okay. Lord Van Zykes, foul smell, foul smell. So, what is that indescribably foul smell? Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. It's blue. What is that? The lock virus. My dear fellow, it is of course my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea. Oh my. There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is in fact merely dyed leaves of drab flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris? Alright then.
At the ready, Harry.
Let's add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? No. Turned into coffee. It turned completely black. And what a foul odor it's giving off. Yeah, definitely turned into coffee. This is something you must hide from history, Mr. Shlomes. This must not come to pass. Indeed. The blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. So what is it reacting with? It would appear that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. I'm not a fan of Darjeeling. That's very ingenious. But what do you do with the black liquid now? You drink it, dear fellow. Why dispose of it naturally? Surely you wouldn't like to drink it. Would you? There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Shlomes. Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. The point is, we are entering a new era of science. In the world of criminal investigation also. Yes,
Forensic science. Oh, these are such exciting times.
I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my official consulting detective work. The Sherlock Holmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. This little tea indicant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research.
Forensic science. Suppose I should find out more about that. Oh. So, your T-test. Is that an example of forensic science?
Indeed it is. An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality.
Not a huge number of cases, then.
Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add.
Really, we are dragging our heels there. I hadn't even heard of them until recently.
Which is partly why I undertake research in the field myself, of course.
Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Shlomes?
There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints.
Skin prints?
A nomenclature of my own design. It's purple, as in this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation.
Brilliant, Mr. Shlomes.
As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed.
Alright, Lord Van Zykes.
Lord Barak Van Zykes, yes. It's an interesting sobriquet. Whatever. He has, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey name. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, the person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts. Sooner or later, the hapless soul will vanish from the capital.
But vanish how exactly?
By falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue being set upon by highwaymen. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow.
It all seems a little far-fetched, really.
Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit. For the time being, at least.
That's not overly reassuring. If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zykes' own hand.
As it happens, Miss Suzuto, that is quite impossible.
Oh? Why?
Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast iron alibi.
Really?
And so his reign continued. But 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection, and really did end bitterly indeed.
By fire be purged, and here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again.
Poor Runo. I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky. Or incredibly unlikable.
I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people.
Yeah, why? There's got to be a history behind that.
Did you bet? Japanese people.
With Mr. Natsumi, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese as well as Miss Suzuto and myself,
I felt it even more keenly in court today.
For some reason, Lord Van Syke seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese.
Indeed. It is an interesting observation.
Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes?
A lot of dots. It was about 10 years ago that Baron von Zykes chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan.
No. What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened?
Well, tell us. I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair.
Oh, but...
The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Dodged that one, didn't you, mate?
Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues. That's the spirit, Runo. See you later.
Yes, until later.
No, Mr. Sholmes. We were thinking you'd come with us.
You were?
Yes, of course. You said so just a moment ago. You said we'd witness your forensic talents in action.
Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might.
Your commitment astounds me. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival.
Bye-bye, Runo. Bye, Susie.
Off we pop then. Alright, so that's pointed us towards the scene. So... yeah, we'll head straight there then. I'll get an eye on those cups there. 22nd of February, Mr. Natsumi's lodgings, ground floor. I just want to look at something here. These cups. Yeah, so it's the purpley one that has the rim around it, which means the tea was sitting in there for a while to go cold. Because again, you can't put hot tea in a soap; it'll ruin your mold that you're making. So it's like, yeah, he had to wait for it to go cold. In fact, I've not looked at them, have I? So hold on. This must be the cup that Mr. Shamspeare was drinking from then. It's stained on the inside. Yep. Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea.
Oh, really?
I never noticed before. You've never noticed?
Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it?
It's the British way as well. Oh dear, so many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture. Most of them are Japanese. This is the teacup from which Mr. Natsumi was drinking.
Yes. Unlike the other one, the inside of the cup is completely clean.
I suppose... Where'd I get Simo's from? I suppose he must have drunk the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark.
I always gulp it down too.
Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold.
Clearly, I shall have to instruct you in the proper way to take tea. Oh dear, oh.
Alright, so the ring is gonna be something. It's just, yeah, it's gonna be something. It's. Otherwise, why even bother having it there? Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson.
What are you doing here? Well, we're hoping to have another look around, actually. The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I know the score.
Oh, yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside the window. Did you find it, with the tea in it?
Yeah, we found it alright. And there was a small amount of tea in it, as you said.
I knew it.
It's with the identification section of the yard now. They're looking into it. The results should be available later today.
That's wonderful news. Thank you.
What? Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing. Forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here. Let's go disturb everything. There he is! Alright, so let's have an examine. So, okay, let's look at the cups.
Ah, the ill-fated teacups from which 2 men drank on the ill-fated night. During their heated literary debate, yes.
Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet?
Sounds like it was quite a discussion. Now I think of it, I'm sure that the 2 lovers in the play ended their lives with poison.
That's fiction, Miss Suzuto. Let's hope it stays that way. Right, okay, let's check the gas meter.
If you ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat.
But the needy, London's winters can be very harsh.
That's true, but if you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change.
London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Suzuto-san and I are going to make it to spring.
That's true. We don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove.
Oh dear. Look how dark the stain on the floor is underneath the meter there.
Yes, and all the water dripping out after the ice coins melted, as you established in court this morning.
Why would you not? Like, in this kind of logic, it's like, okay, it's gonna drip out. I'll put something underneath it to catch the water so I can reuse the water at least. Like, may as well. May as well. So what's that? What's in the hole in the wall?
It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it? Mr. Shakespeare must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose.
It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. Because this thing, if he's ingenious enough to do this entire plot here, it's like, that's good. Just put a cup or something below it and capture the water. Obviously don't leave it out, but you know. Are we not going to question the hole in the wall? No? Okay. Seems like it could be something, but no.
The sun never shines in this room thanks to that depressingly bricked up window. Yet, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can't you?
Sounds like a very wise life lesson, Miss Suzuto.
Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo.
Are we not going to look through the hole? I don't want to talk to Mr. Shlooms yet. Still that thing on the floor, though. Cup, soap, no. What about that area on the floor? There's like little bits where I'm just thinking like there's something hidden behind there, there's something hidden behind there, there's something hidden behind there. Okay, right, so... Great.
Are you looking for new clues, Inspector?
On Lord Van Zyke's orders, yeah. Don't come back till you got something for me, he says. Tch.
Oh dear. Poor you.
Yeah, poor me. Because we've already searched every bleeding nook and cranny in this place. I don't know what he expects, to be honest. Thank goodness for warm chips is all I can say.
Well, at least he's honest.
Bloody hell. Okay, so we've not got much going on there. Okay, so Mr. Shlooms it is. Mr. Shlooms, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed! Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Oi! What are you doing here, Shlooms? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems.
Is now the time, Mr. Shlooms? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised?
With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. Alright, go on then.
What's all this?
Who are you? All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Herlock Sholmes' sensational skin print seeker gun. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim.
A sample from Mr. Shamspeare's cup?
Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this, a refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. So, you know, black light. There, now spray the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed.
Spray? How do I do that exactly?
A little press of the A button on the area you're interested in is all that's required, like this.
Oh. What is that stuff? It's like fog.
A suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. It's the most efficient way to cover a large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally while I was developing this idea.
As you do?
Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. We may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question.
Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Let's spray the room. Right, obviously, teacup area? Spray? Okay. Spray. Oh dear. There's a lot around the window. Okay. Not on the cobweb. Ooh, so there's something behind the picture. Look, there are dozens of handprints here.
So there are, great many indeed. So much so that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact.
Oh, it sends a chill down my spine. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture. No, take the picture off.
Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all.
And without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel.
Oh, very true, Miss Susato.
It's a bit of a mystery then. It's behind the bloody picture. Whatever it is, it's behind the picture. Can we cut anywhere else? Just spray the entire room. Like it seemed to take a second there. I just feel like that's the key. Look, there are dozens of handprints there, so there are many indeed. So that's the key area. Can I back out? This is acting like there's more to do somewhere. Just the way it's like it's not done anything like, because the options is just options. So what does it want me to spray? I think I've checked pretty much everywhere, haven't I? That hole? Then what? Genuinely thought that was going to be it then. And it's like, is there a way to back out of this? It's like, what else is there to check? Like, like how do I get out of that? Like, There's gotta be some way. I think that just appeared on the chair, didn't it? I'll find it eventually. I will find it. Spray everything. Ah ha ha! Oh, look at all this here. Ah yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints. Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot? Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall just there? There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Shlomes. Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Something under the floor. Well, we sprayed Mr. Shlomes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? We did, but there are 2 places in particular that are of interest, I would say. The handprints on the floor there. Handprints on the wall by the picture, you mean? So the rest of the letter is probably in the floor, the envelope. Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment. Ah! What is it, Miss Suzuto? Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out. One of the... You mean... It's a secret hiding place? Excellent work, Miss Suzuto. So, what do we have in here? Oi! What are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson, stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate there. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips whilst we dig around under the floor here. You fancy talk's putting me off on my food anyway, Miss Shlomes. Your bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Let's look together then. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. It's not a hiding place you could make use of in Japan. Don't think I could lift a straw tatami mat? No, I know. But I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there too. Aren't you curious? Oh. I'll investigate it once. What did you find? Take the picture off the wall. There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. It's gotta be the hole. It's gotta be the hole. Or he's doing something with the lamp. But only the wall. How disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprints? I really can't think why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that. Climb up, put your hand on the wall, and adjust the lamp. Simple. Click. Whir. There you are! A print for you. The photograph of the handprint on the wall has been entered into the court record. Traces of handprints on the wall discovered using the skin print seeker gun. There are multiple prints on either side of a hanging picture. Oh, thank you very much. This invention can make prints too? Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know. So am I. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, well, what's all this then? I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Inspector Gregson! Really, it's been too long. What is it, Shlomes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. Oh. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Ugh, I'd kill to know what was under that floorboard. Don't say that. Alright then. Fair's fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. I suppose I should at least fill you in. Ready, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Oi, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. Anyway, there are 3 items under the floor. A newspaper clipping, photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know? The newspaper clipping. Looks like this was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time up in Manchester. How terrible. It made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first. Oh my goodness, he'd committed a capital offence? Man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work into burglaries in Moida. They say the hoard he knocked off was worth about £1,000. A hoard? Of treasure, you mean? Jewellery and the like? But he did it somewhere and no one knows where. And now he's dead. Papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell. Some such was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we got on Selden back at the yard and see if I can turn anything up. Capital offender article has been entered into the court record. Alright, photographic print. So, this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Yes. It would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garrideb, the landlord, of course. But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garrideb's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You can take that print if you like. Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. Is that true? Well, it's too bad if we do. Fortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Hidden photograph has been entered into the court record. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamspeare himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garrideb was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it. Alright, tin box. Now this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shamspeare, give us a clue, man. You didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least you found out what's inside the box. Yes. Thin air. It's empty. Rather like how I feel inside. Is there nothing more to this box then? I wonder. Could be a trick box. Could be a trick box. Meow. Kitty. Oh, look. It's that lovely little kitty cat. What was his name? It's Mr. Natsumi's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsumi refers to himself in Japanese. Wonder how he got in here. Clever cat. There's a hole behind there somewhere. Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wagahai, here's something delicious I bought for you from the cat's meat menu. Meow, indeed. Well, alright then. He couldn't be happier now, look. I just hope we can bring some happiness to his owner, too. It's doing a little bit of kneading. Meow. Kitty. Indeed. That was a cheeky little meow, Wagahai. Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while, and we have an investigation to get back to. And we do. I don't think there's anything else left in here. I still feel like there's something to do with the lamp, but yeah, I feel like that's it for us here for now. So let's head off out to let's head to the prison.